Oh my God, look at that. Fresh haircut and everything. Shit.
Yeah.
Hey, what's up?
You show up dressed up. So I put some curls in my hair and sprayed it, some wax as well. Just get ready for you.
Are you wearing pants?
I am wearing pants, unfortunately.
Matching pants?
Yes, unfortunately.
I like the plant situation, the Jurassic Park behind you. That's kind of cool.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
It's all growing up.
That's evolved over time.
I know. I'm ready. I'm ready.
Too. All right. It's 12 o'clock. I'm going to be, I don't have a full crew like John does with he's got a crew. He's got Steven Spielberg. He's got all this stuff for his. So I don't have Crystal clicking on admit. So I will be looking over here and admitting people as they enter. So first and foremost, welcome to Coffee with Closers. The name obviously inspired from, the movie where, that famous scene, Coffees for Closers. I just really like the name of that. So I thought that's a really cool name to name this segment. And who better than my good friend, JT, John Tsai, to be our first guest. This isn't just for real estate agents. This is for anybody who wants to improve their lives, who wants to add value to their business, to their mindset. And this is somebody that I have a lot of respect for. I've known him for a long time. And he has just excelled in life, not just in real estate. And I thought that this would be beneficial for everybody to hear. This guy has a lot of valuable information to share. He has a new haircut, so that's big. It's literally like 2 snips different, but that's big. So and he's wearing pants. So welcome everybody to Coffee with Closers. So first and foremost, before I introduce you, John, do you have a coffee right now? Do you even drink coffee?
I'm back on the program, so I don't need it, but I love the taste. I think Crystal is making some coffee right now. So yes, you can sip on that.
So there's coffee somewhere in the vicinity.
Somewhere in the vicinity, there is a cup of coffee.
Because right now I'm drinking green tea. So really, technically, this is all lies. We should have called this Sapporo with Closers, because that's really your jam, right? That's what you drink.
That's my jam for sure.
Anyway, everybody, please welcome Mr. John Tsai, Vancouver, Canada. John, please tell everybody who you are, where you come from, what it is you do. Just give us a bit of a bio on who you are, please, so that everybody understands who we're dealing with here.
I don't know if I could just live up to the hype, guys, but here it goes. Again, thank you for having me. My name is John Tsai. I sell real estate out of Greater Vancouver for the past 15 plus years. And we do on average around 100 million in production. And I have a team of right now 15 agents, but I started in 2006 as an individual agent. And do you want me back up all the way to I'm an immigrant, I'm from Taiwan?
Yeah. Tell us where everything, baby steps. Let's go. I want to hear it.
Okay, cool. So we immigrated here in 1991. It was a rough start, I would think, with not a lot of Asians or Chinese in my city at that time. And I grew up being bullied quite a lot. And I would say there was racism. And so, when you grow up with that kind of environment, and my mom and dad were always back and forth, astronaut kids, right? And, you grew up with the kind of grit that you wouldn't have if you had a really good upbringing. In high school, probably got even worse, got beat up quite a bit. And well, you know how it is. You try to be popular, and then you have these embarrassing moments in high school. But that all led up to me being who I am today. Is that I have that grit. I can take rejection at a high level.
Right.
Coming up being bullied, you have this inferiority complex.
Yeah.
And couple that with an overbearing father, Asian father, who you're never good enough for. Right. And all that just it can either break you or it can make you. So I chose in my adolescence, I'm no good. I told myself I'm no good. Dad was always telling me I'm useless. I would never amount to no good. So I bought into that story. But as I matured, I used all that in the past as my why today, that, you know, I will never give up to achieve my goals. And even that, you know, it's so deep that, and, you know, my dad's gone, but even till today, I still, is the driving force me to keep moving forward to make my dad proud. Yeah. You know, him in heaven, and my mom who's still here. So, so all that coupled into today, who I am today. So that's where I came from.
I know that you bring up your dad a lot, and I know that your dad is very proud of you, and you've accomplished so many things. You take care of your mom, you take care of your family in so many ways. And I can tell you 1,000% he's happy, and he's smiling down on you. And it's interesting though, you know, you talk about, I got to admit some more people here. You talk about Asian parents never being satisfied. I'm Greek and I have Greek upbringing. So for me, if I brought home like a C+, that's good, you know, like, whereas you know, for you, it's like, hey, A-, that ain't an A. Where's the extra line to make it a plus?
Exactly. Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
I love that. Well, I appreciate the context, and I think it's important that people know the context, because there's a lot of belief that, you know, money comes from money, and that success comes from prior success, or, you know, rich parents or whatever. And, you know, you've done this the hard way. I mean, for God's sake, you sold jeans. Like I tell us about, first of all, what brand? Somebody asked me, what brand? Was it Gap? Was it Levi's? What kind of jeans did you sell?
Mainly diesel jeans. That was my
Diesel.
jam. Mainly diesel.
Wow.
Yeah. I don't know if you had this in Ottawa or Toronto, this brand called Below the Belt.
I don't know. I'm not here.
Bootlegger. I don't know. You know, that's one of those Canadian brands, right?
Okay, cool. And were you any good at selling jeans?
My highest year was $24,000. I was very proud. I worked up to try to be a store manager, a key holder, as they call it. I never made it. And then I was always outsold by my friend, Ben. I was always jealous of him, and you know, I could never get over that hump. So that drove me too.
Do you know where Ben is now?
I actually don't know.
He's actually here. Everybody bring out Ben. I'm kidding. I'm kidding. Ben's not here. So listen, let me ask you something. Imagine if he was here though, like straight up,
oh
like
my God.
Maury Povich. Ben, come on out, hug it out with John. He's wearing jeans and shit. So listen, I want to know who inspires John Tsai. I know that you inspire a hell of a lot of people, but who inspires you? You know, at the level you're at right now, I just want to know currently right now, who is your inspiration? Who do you look to for inspiration and drive?
Well, you first and foremost, to be honest.
Me?
Yeah. Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
Jesus Christ. Hold on a second. Keep going. I'm just kidding. I appreciate that.
To be honest, I mean, you're always one step ahead of everybody around us. When I first met DK, I've truly been exposed to the next level of production. I was like, man, this guy, same age, right? 2 years in the business at that time, I think. 2-3 years in the business, from 12 deals to 48 deals, and then to over 100 deals in his third year, full time. At that time, I was hitting my 10th year, right? And I was like, who is this guy? But this is the you know, because proximity is power. I was lucky enough that Ramona introduced us, and I had the pleasure of, you know, hanging out with DK for the past, you know, 5, 6 years, 7 years. And you have to have someone like that in your life, right? Who's always striving for more. And I always look to you when I'm not as hungry. And I remember you telling me last year, yeah, you're doing good, but you could do more. You could do more. And you said it with, there's no judgment behind it. Yeah. It was just all love, and it was all truth. And it was so raw and real. I was like, yeah, yes, I can do more. Don't be complacent. You can do more.
You humbled me, first of all. So thank you for that. And I'm honored by that. And obviously I feel the same way about you. And to everybody, Ramona is our real estate coach. At one point we had the same coach, John and I, and our coach kind of like set us up. She said, you guys need to connect. You have very different personalities, but you're both achieving great things. And I'm so grateful for that introduction, because obviously, you know, we've become so tight, our families, we're so intertwined, and we've grown together. So I appreciate what you say. Thank you. But you have no idea how you inspire me. I'm going to go get a new haircut right now. So, all right. We know how a lot of people handle success, but I truly believe, and we've talked about this on many levels, John, that I think that's how you handle failure and setbacks. That's really what forges you and what makes you. You said it yourself, all the difficult, you know, pressure that was on you as a kid sort of made you, gave you grit, and it made you the guy you are today. So let me ask you something. How does a guy like you handle failures and setbacks? I mean, do you even have them? Are you superhuman? I know everyone knows you're the Asian James Bond, but you know, you're like a superhero to a lot of people. You're like, you know, you're like this figure, but at the end of the day, you're just a regular guy. But how does someone like you handle, you know, failure and setbacks? Just curious.
You know, I have a hard time with it, to be honest with you. And I deal with failure and setbacks and embarrassment every single day. And I'll say at this point that, at least at this point in my career, that it never ends. The anxiety of January 1st, can I do it again?
Yeah.
It's still here,
It's
16
real.
plus years. And, you know, whenever I lose a listing, that's a failure. Whenever a client buys with somebody else, it still happens 16 years later. So don't think that it'll just stop. It will keep happening. But here's the thing, like, I never stop moving forward.
Right.
Every time I got burned, every time I couldn't get that client, I just go back to prospecting. I go back to lead generation. I go back to income producing activities to drive myself forward. So I always think, okay, well, I'm going to fail. I'm going to fail,
Yeah.
right? But I'm going to keep moving forward. I'm never going to quit. I'm never going to quit. And I think of it this way. It's scientifically impossible for me to fail if I never quit.
Wow.
Right? If you just keep moving,
Yeah,
and you don't stop, in essence, by definition, you are unstoppable.
I love it.
Doesn't matter what speed you're moving at.
Yeah.
If you keep moving, you are unstoppable.
So
That's always what I think every day.
So the moral of the story, regardless of what happens, regardless how difficult it is, you accept it, you learn from it, and you move forward.
Absolutely move forward. The anxiety is there, the fear is there, the doubt is there, guys. The doubt. I'm a very doubtful person.
Mm-hmm.
I remember we were in the bonus session. Myself, you, and Dao Chang. You were sitting in the middle.
That's right.
And Dao Chang and I were sandwiching you. And the instructor said, who defaults in the negative when they wake up? Dao Chang and I just like the first to put up our hands.
Yeah.
And who defaults to the positive? And here's Mr. DK. Hi. I am negativity's worst nightmare.
Yeah.
And so that's how I see it. But it's okay. It's okay. Everybody has their own style. Yeah. I know that I can wake up with doubt, fear, anxiety, but once I get into action, once I do my morning routine, once I start prospecting, all that is gone. Then I just go.
I think the key here, John, is you nailed it, is that everybody faces negativity and setbacks. It's just how does everybody deal with it? And yes, you may default to the negative. I might default to the positive, but we both react the same when it occurs. We recognize it, and we also acknowledge that one mistake doesn't define you. One setback doesn't define you. And if you're not making mistakes, you're not working hard enough, right?
Exactly. Yeah. If you're not failing, you're not trying hard enough. So just keep failing, keep moving forward.
I love that. Thank you. And that can be applied not just in real estate, in life, in anything. So
absolutely. Absolutely.
So I'm all over. So this is just going to be rapid fire. And I haven't given you any preparation for this, right? Yeah. So what is your favorite quote? Any favorite quote that you live by, or that's in front of you on your desk, or that gives you sort of inspiration? Do you have any favorite quotes?
Oh, the first one that comes to mind is, of course, W. Clement Stone. Whatever the mind of man can conceive and believe, it can achieve.
Right.
Right. And so a lot of times we're like, okay, well, I need to know the how. I need to know the how before I can take action to go and do it. Yeah. But the thing is, a lot of times it's about believe and you will see. Right. And you don't need to really see the staircase. You just need to take the next step. And then the next step will show up as you take the next step. The how will be shown to you. But if you don't take action, it doesn't matter. right? You don't need to know the how. You just need to know the what, and the vision of your goal is so strong, right? The how will be gravitated towards you.
Yeah, and I know you've been, 100%. And I know you've been visualizing, you've been like that since I've known you. How long have we known each other? How many years?
2015. So that's almost 7 years in 2022.
Feels like longer. That's meant as a compliment. But what I mean by that is I feel like I know you, on so many deep, we've spent a lot of time together. We've grown together.
Yeah.
And I know you like 5-6 years ago, whenever it was, we met, we were at a session and we both just finished. Somebody was speaking on a stage on a panel, and you and I are walking, to the break room, and you looked at me, you said, bro, Lambo, 3 years. And I said, Audi R8, 3 years, fist pump, boom, let's go. And we both did it. And we
I remember that. Yes.
Yeah. Remember that?
Yes, we did it.
That's why I love you, because, having a goal is one thing, but sharing it with people makes it that much more powerful. And I think it's like, I had the stats sometime, I gave it to you, it was like 70% higher probability of achieving your goal if you share it with someone and talk it out. So anyway, thank you for that.
Thank you for that.
Thank you. So favorite books, what are you reading right now? And then like maybe a couple of your favorite books.
I think the biggest one would still be Relentless by Tim S. Grover. And that's what really made us, our group, our mastermind group, we call ourselves the Cleaners.
Yeah.
Right, because that book is such a big impact on us that, when you think you have done it, you just started.
Yeah.
So you got to keep going and you got to be relentless. And so that book really stood out to me. Of course, Rich Dad Poor Dad, I always quote that book, one of my all-time favorites. And right now I am reading Success Habits by Dean Graziosi.
Okay, recommend?
I recommend it for sure. It goes deep into your why, 7 steps to getting your true why. And I think a lot of agents, a lot of people really struggle with finding out their why. Why am I doing this? Yeah. Why am I going to go out there and get rejected every single day? Like, why? Why bother? Yeah. Right? So if you really dig deep, get that why, you just move forward so much faster.
It's interesting you say that, because I've interviewed people in the past and I asked them, what is your goal? Then often it'll be a financial number, 100,000, 200,000 a year. And then I always say, why? And they look at me like I'm crazy. And I say, what are you going to do with the money? And often they don't know. And it's like, the money is not going to give you happiness. The money is not going to serve your goal. It's not going to, do you agree, John?
Well, absolutely. And so this check that DK had us do for our homework, this check I wrote here for $4 million next year.
Right.
I declared that as a goal, and we were inspired to write it. But then once I look at it every single day, I'm like, okay, the $4 million goal. You see that one?
Here's mine.
There you go. There you go. But beyond the number, what does it mean for you to have that monetary goal? Why do you want the $4 million? What is it going to do for you and your family? I think that one level deeper is going to drive you forward instead of just a number.
Yeah. Tie it to an experience, or who can you help? And what's funny? Our mastermind group is full of, millionaires. Everyone's making a lot of money, but we never talk about the love of money. None of us are like that. It's always about who can we help? How much can we donate? Who can we elevate to our level? Who can we have join on the ride? And that's what I love about our group, is that everybody is so humble and so forthcoming. And you wouldn't think it, because I also come from, I hate saying nothing, because that's an insult to people that truly come from nothing, that have no food and no clothes. I had food, I had clothes, I had a roof over my head. But for all time, what I mean is we didn't have vacations. We had one car, one bathroom. You fight over the bathroom. Like, we didn't have fancy things. So, very humble beginning as well, just like you. So I completely agree. And so just to explain to everybody, the homework is right here. So what I had suggested to the team was, to the mastermind group, was take a check, write yourself a check for whatever dollar value that you wish, and date it for the end of the year. And then keep it on you at all times. So we all did it. And this is my check and John has his, and you keep it on you at all times. And the idea is, when it's on you, you look at it more often, it becomes more real, and it becomes, it's almost like you wish it, or you enable it into reality. And I've done this for, I don't know, since I've known you, John, and I have all the previous checks
Wow.
at home. I do. And they're all old and like tattered, and one has coffee on it and stuff. But it's inspiring. It's inspiring to see how big I think now versus how big or how small I used to think. Because what do they say that people always underestimate what they can do or they overestimate what they can do in 1 year and underestimate what they do in 5? Is that right?
Absolutely. Yeah.
So true, right? So true. So if you have never done this before, highly recommend it. Stolen from Jim Carrey, who told himself he'd make $10 million on a movie, and then he got the role for, I don't know what it was, Ace Ventura or whatever. I'm a big Jim Carrey fan, Ace Ventura fan, and that always inspired me. So
that's how we connect too. We love the same comedians.
Yeah, we're both immature, for sure, 1,000%.
So I want to tell a story. I want to tell a story because, guys, if you're listening to this, if you get nothing else out of this call for 2022, think big. Think big. And scare yourself a little bit. 4 years ago when I started to chat with Eddie Oberoi, he was making $1 million a year, right? Like that's like 7 figures. It's big.
It's real, yeah.
It's real. And at that time, he would always affirm that he's making $2.5 million a year.
Right.
And I was like, yeah, right. In my mind, really, I doubted him.
Yeah.
And Eddie, if you are listening to this, yes, I did doubt you. Right. But then each and every year after that, it would be a little bit more, right? It would be like 1.3, 1.4, 1.7. I'm like, you're never gonna go 2.5. Guess what? This year, 2021, he's over $3 million.
Amazing. Yeah, he's such an awesome guy too. He deserves it.
So yeah, exactly. So dream big, think big. If you're gonna think anyways, think big for next year. Scare yourself a little bit.
Yeah. I love that. Thank you very much. And you're right. I completely agree. And I love that. I'm recording this, by the way. So if Eddie's not here, we're going to send it to him because I know he'll want to. So John, one piece of advice: you go back in time, talk to yourself selling jeans. What would you say to yourself? You could only give yourself one piece of advice. What would you say?
I would say you are perfect, whole, and complete as you are. You're doing everything perfectly. There is no right or wrong. If anything, go and make the same mistakes that I did. Go and have the exact same journey that I did. But the only thing that I would tell you is enjoy every moment. Amazing.
Amazing. Good advice. I love it. Do you find that back then you weren't maybe enjoying the ride as much and you were a bit uncertain of the future?
Oh yeah, all the time. I resisted who I was. I resisted where I was. I resisted what I was. Right. I didn't even like my name, John.
Right.
Get this. I didn't like my name. I didn't like John Tsai.
Right.
Right. So just, you got to love yourself. You got to love the journey.
Yeah.
Really divorce the outcome and marry the journey, the process. We really enjoy the process. And I resisted all this time, all the way up until now. I resisted who I was. I resisted, the clothes I wore. Like I didn't like myself, DK.
Right.
But you got to love yourself and enjoy every single day. That's what I'm telling myself.
I think a lot of people share, I had the same doubts. I was bullied as a kid for being overweight. So I wasn't athletically inclined but I was funny. And the way I got attention was from being funny. So I identified with, value as being humorous and making people laugh. And then, this happened. And then, everything got okay. But
Mr. He-Man emerges from Mr. DK.
But it's funny. So I did that body transformation this year and I lost 36 pounds and I've been working out like crazy. I didn't do it before. I'm 41 years old because I didn't think I had the genetics or I wasn't built for that body or whatever. Bullshit that we tell the shit that we tell ourselves is so crazy. Yes. And it's so nuts how the book I'm reading right now says, whatever you say in your conscious mind gets programmed into your subconscious mind. Yeah. And then your subconscious mind will ensure that you succeed at failing. So if you say to yourself, I can't afford it, guess what? Your subconscious mind goes, thank you. You can't afford it. You can't afford it. And it'll put you into action so that you don't afford it.
Yes.
It's mind-boggling. And it makes sense because in Vegas, when I snapped and I said, that's it. Cold turkey. I'm going to work out, eat healthy, blah, blah. I just snapped. And I guess I programmed it into my subconscious. This is no longer acceptable, right? So
it was so strong. It was so emotionalized that you did whatever it took to get to who you are, what you are right now. And so guys, be careful with your words. Even if it's a joke, stop beating yourself up. I had my friend the other day is like, oh, I'm not as rich as Win Louie. You know, when Louis does it, you know, I only buy stuff when it's on sale. Ha 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 ha. I'm not as rich as so-and-so.
Yeah.
Right. And I'm like, dude, stop saying that.
Yeah.
You deserve everything. Even if it's a joke, stop it. Watch your words, watch your language. Be kind to yourself.
I agree, John, 100%. You hear people say, I don't have his money, or I don't come from rich parents or whatever. It's all bullshit. It's all stories we tell ourselves to justify why we don't want to do the work or do the, you know, now some people obviously are in situations where it just can't happen. But I think for the most part, we will ourselves into the life that we have. So, you know, often we'll say things like, I have to go do this. I have to go meet someone, as opposed to I get to. This is the one that drives me crazy. And I know you believe the same thing, where people say, oh, I got to go show a house to a client, or I got to talk to this client for, I'm just relating back to real estate because there's so many agents here, for a price reduction. It's like, excuse me, you get to. Some people wish they had a client. Some people wish they had someone to talk to. So I find that gratitude is so important. So talk to me about gratitude. So what do you do to make sure that you stay grateful? How do you exercise gratitude? And because I know you're very grateful because you talk about it all the time, but do you find it's important? And then also how does it play into your daily routine, your gratitude?
Oh man, gratitude is huge. And I think you got to be grateful for what you have in order to have more of what you have. If you're not grateful for what you already have, no more will come of that. So I practice gratitude at a high level. When I visualize every single day, I'm practicing gratitude. I'm so happy and grateful that, right? And then you just fill in the blank in your visualizations. Right. And in the morning, we write gratitudes. And in the evening before we sleep, we write gratitudes, right? And if we don't do it, I pay Eddie $100 every single time.
So you tie, why do you tie financial to the gratitudes? Why do you do that?
Because it's so important to practice gratitude. If you miss your gratitude, you should be penalized.
Wow.
I'm serious. I'm serious. You have to have gratitude in your life. The attitude of gratitude, I think, is the most important thing in sales. Well, in life, really.
Yeah.
If you come from gratitude, you'll have more. If you come from lack, scarcity, fear, you'll crawl into a hole. You'll spiral downwards. Gratitude brings your energy up, your vibration up. Right? Just think about that. If you're feeling gratitude right now, feel gratitude right now for something. Feel love right now for something. There is no fear in that state.
It's almost like they say when you're smiling, you can't be mad, right?
Exactly.
It's impossible to be angry when you smile. So I listen, I agree. I'm grateful for every day that I wake up. You know, before I eat, every meal I pray and say, thank you, God, for this food. I mean, I agree 100%. And I appreciate that you're so dedicated to gratitude that you tie a financial penalty to it. So John, how important is the company that you keep? How important is it to you, like your inner circle? Because I know you have a lot of acquaintances. You got thousands of people on, you're maxed out on Facebook, TikTok, Instagram. I don't know, you max out on everything. So, but what about your inner circle? Forget all that stuff, the noise. How important is your inner circle and how many people are in that circle?
The mastermind members and my closest friends locally here. You know, obviously we want to get together with our group locally every month. We do some events, yes. Yeah. But inner circle, very small. 2 to 3 friends that I talk to on a daily basis, yourself included. And I'm very careful with my time now, especially with 2 girls. Yeah. I do want to keep my circle small. I really want to protect my time only for family at this moment. And the more I leverage my business, the more I get to spend time with my family. Right. And yes, and you know, on the business end, on the self-development end, be careful who you hang out with. Yes. They have to be positive. Preferably if they're doing more than you, which I'm lucky I have DK in my life to pull me forward. Right. So who's doing more than you? right? Hang out with those people. Now, you can hang out with people who are doing less than you, absolutely, because you need to reach up for help. You need to also reach down to pull people up, right? That's the whole process of self-development.
Right.
And I would say that you would only reach down to people to pull them up if they are willing, hungry, and coachable and inspired. Because you're not going to try to, you know, pull up the downtrodden. It's impossible.
So what do you do when you approach somebody, because you get approached a lot, people say, help me, man, I want to be you. What do I do? So then you take them on. What do you do when they don't respond? What do you do when you say, okay, do this, and they go, no, I don't want to do that. No, I don't want to do this. Not right now. I'll call you later. How do you react?
Well, I have to let them go. I have to let them go. You know, I will make my effort to help pull you up. But if you don't respond, and I'm still, you see, I can't be more motivated than you are about your goals.
Right.
Just like as a real estate sales agent, you can't be more motivated than the seller to help them sell their home. Right. Then you're just, you know, it's commission breath. Right. So same as someone who says, well, I want to get as successful as you are. Okay, great. Show up at this time.
Right.
And then they don't show up. Then that tells me something.
Right.
Then I would say, okay, well, I give them one more chance. Okay, if you show up next time, no problem, show up next time. If they don't show up again, then I know they're not as motivated as they think they are. Right? And you can lead a horse to the water, but you can't make the horse drink. And a lot of times as mentors like ourselves, you know, as team leaders, you know, you're like, why don't you drink the water? Why don't you drink the water? God damn it. Well,
it tastes so good.
It tastes so good. Trust me, it tastes so good. The Kool-Aid.
Yeah.
Right? But you can't make people drink. But my job, yes, is to pull them to the water and say, here it is. If you say you want to become successful, drink this water.
Right.
No, I'm good, man. All right, that's cool. And then move on to the next.
Hey, money. Talk to me about, real quick, talk to me about money. What are your thoughts on money? You make a lot of money. I know you donate a lot of money. You're very generous every year. And you inspire me always to give more and more. So thank you for that. How do you feel about money? Does money change you, or does it just amplify who you already were? What do you do with your money? Do you invest? What do you invest in, if you're comfortable talking about it?
I'm very uncomfortable talking about it. And thank you for bringing it up. And I'll tell you the deep-rooted fear, lacks, scarcity that I have in my mind about money is so deep-rooted. I remember moving over here from Taiwan, and you know, my mom and dad literally gave up their business to be here, right? And the company started to lose money immediately because you know there was no successor. You know, my brothers weren't old enough, right? And so my mom would always tell me, every single year, she would tell me, John, we are now living from our savings. We are no longer making new money.
Wow.
I could, that was like in my, that's like in my subconscious right now, every single day.
How old were you?
I was 7, 8, 9, 10 years old. She would tell me every single year, oh yeah, you know, we're losing money now. We're losing money now. You know, we're no longer making new money. And then I would say, really? Are we going to be out on the streets? It was so much fear. And today I carry that as well. So I'm very, very uncomfortable with money. I'll just be honest with you.
Okay. Okay.
But that drives me to produce results at a high level every single day, because I never want to feel that way. And I never want to tell my kids that we will be in that situation.
Right. Well, you're so generous. I've seen you. I mean, we've traveled a lot together, and you don't think twice about buying someone a drink or buying someone's dinner, or you're donating. I've seen you at events where they bring up some random cause. You're the first person to stand up. First, I think he's going to the bathroom to run away. But then I see you pull out your credit card. Like, you're always the first one. And this is the misconception that like people with money don't give. Like, they give the most. And you're a prime example of that. And I want to call you out because you're so generous. And, you know, I appreciate you because you've helped me to be more giving as well. And the more you give, the more you get. Okay. Real quick, I didn't give you any of this stuff beforehand. So if this doesn't work, that's okay. But I want to play some word association with you.
Okay.
Is that cool?
Okay.
Okay, you're a smart guy. So I'm going to give you a word, and I want to know the first thing that comes to your head.
Oh my gosh. Okay. I'm
ready?
nervous
This is going to be fun.
All right.
Keep it clean.
Okay.
All right. Success.
Hard work.
Ooh, that's good. Freedom.
Not possible.
Okay. Failure.
Keep going.
Obstacle.
Keep going.
Discipline.
That's me.
Consistency.
Also me.
Mastermind.
Love.
Faith.
I believe it.
Legacy.
Every day.
I love it. Man, you are such a machine. I love it. And I love how we pretended that I didn't give you those words before. So we rehearsed and that was so good. That was unrehearsed. Beautiful.
No, unrehearsed, guys. Unrehearsed. Yeah.
I'm kidding. Unrehearsed.
You know what? It bugged me just now that I said freedom is not possible. And that's what came to my mind first.
Interesting.
Not possible. Damn.
That's not what I thought you were going to say.
Yeah, that's not, but that's the first thing that came to my mind. So
that's
there's
okay.
something to work on.
So there's obviously some limiting beliefs still deep down in there, which is insane for somebody who's achieved so much at such, so early in their lives. I mean, it's shocking to me, but that also shows that you're human, and the vulnerable side of John Tsai, which you're not afraid to show at all. And that's why I love you. And that's why so many people love you, because you're real. And you're not just going to tell people what they want to hear. You're going to tell people the real deal, the truth.
Real deal. Oh.
So with that, you have been a massive influence and inspiration to me. You invited me to your mastermind group. I was lost and confused. I think I was looking for the bathroom, and you're like, you need some help, like, come over here. And, it was a relationship that's paid so much to me. And so thank you for everything that you do, for your friendship, and for everything you do for the real estate industry, for everything you do for people, in general. And last thing, what's one piece of advice you would give people, finishing off 2021, going into 2022, just entrepreneurs in general? What's one thing that you would advise people to do to take their lives to the next level?
I would say you have to emotionalize your goals in 2022. And it seemed to be my theme in 2016,
yeah.
But it's my theme every single year. Whatever it takes. Whatever it takes.
Love that.
Right? Like my goal of, $4 million next year, it's a done deal, because I will do whatever it takes. You got to have that conviction. You have to emotionalize it. Then you go out there 2022, January 1st, you hit the ground running. Whatever it takes, I will get there.
Whatever it takes. You got to want it like you got to breathe, right?
Absolutely.
I love it. John, thank you. For everybody that's here and that I'll be sharing later, how can people find you? They flash the John Tsai signal in the sky. How do they find you?
Instagram, Tsai Real Estate, or my number 604-603-0277. I'm on all the social media platforms. You can
You're
find...
on social media? I never noticed.
And I sell real estate in Greater Vancouver. If you have any friends or family that are looking to buy or sell, I'm here to help. Last question. When are you coming to visit me in Ottawa? I'm putting you on the spot. You're full of shit. When are you visiting me in Ottawa, Malaka? 2022 September. How's that? Let's do it. You guys heard that. I'm putting that down on paper. It can't just be a pass-through. It can't be a drive-through on the way to Montreal. You gotta stay here. All right. Listen, John, I love you. Thank you so much for your time. I know how valuable and how tight your schedule is. So thank you. Thank you to your Crystal and your beautiful girls. I love you. And everybody, thank you for joining us today with Coffee with Closers and Mr. John Tsai. We love you, DK. Thank you. Thank you, everyone, for tuning in. Hope it was valuable. Cheers.
Thanks, John.
All the best. Okay. Okay.